How to rename multiple files. In this folder, we have multiple files with multiple different file names. Also, multiple versions of each file, as you can see. What I want to do is remove the img underscore from the beginning of all of these and add a name that is more descriptive. So first, I'm going to click on the first one, hold my mouse down, and drag all the way down to the bottom of the list. Very important not to click on the file name because you will drag the file, but rather the space next to the file name that is empty. So we're going to select all of those. We're going to right click or control click if your mouse does not work as a right click. And we're going to go down to rename. It will say rename 16 items on mine because I have 16 items in the list. However, yours may have a different number of items based on how many you have selected. So when the dialog opens up, you have a couple of options. First, with this drop-down box, if you click it, you can either replace text, add text, or format the names. This time we want to replace text. I want to replace img underscore, therefore I'm going to type that in here. And I want to replace that with, let's just call it photoshoot 1. So if I were to remove img here, you would see that nothing is being replaced. This is what the file name is and was going to be. But as I type an I, it adds photoshoot 1 space, because I have photoshoot 1 space right there in the replace with, and then it has the M. And if I type the M, it's going to remove that M and then that G and then that underscore to be what I want it to be, and I can click rename. Ta-da! The other options in that dialog are add text. So let's say I want to add some text to all of these files, either before or after the current file name. So maybe I named it photoshoot 1. I really wanted to name it product photoshoot 1. I can put add text, product, space, so that there can be a space in the name. Otherwise, as you can see in the example, it would be product photo rather than product photo. Before name or after name if I want to put it at the very end. In that case, I'd want to put the space before the name, the word that I'm adding. I'm going to do before name and hit rename. Now, as you can see, all of the files have product photoshoot 1 on them. The third option is format. And what this can do is you can set it up to have a name and an index, a name and a counter, or a name and a date. You can do name and index, which will start the numbers at whatever you put the starting number. Say I wanted to start at number 6 for some reason. They would start at 6 and count up. Name and counter will do that same thing, but add some zeros in the front so that all of the numbers will end up being the same number of numbers. Name and date allows you to add a date at the end, which is like this 2027-21 and 11/38/35. So let's say we want to rename all of these. Instead of having these 2066, 2078 names and things like that, let's just name them all product photo shoot 1, and we'll put a dash and a space, and we're going to put an index, and we're going to start those numbers at, let's say, 200. Rename. Now, nice, easy, simple list.